Yesterday, hunt!
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. George here with another video and a follow-up to Archer versus Panther, Take 2 by George Chiodas. Very interesting stuff here. So, why am I actually doing this video? Well, good question. I like asking myself questions. So, this morning I watched No Enemies Here. Now, go out, watch Dan's channel, watch Artie's channel. Very interesting um, conversations about wargaming, the hobby, and actually they're selling some of their games as well. I have no idea why, but why not, I suppose. And Dan takes an interesting take on introducing my channel with Leonidas in a snippet from the movie 300, where the Persian emissary goes to Leonidas and says blah blah blah, and then Leonidas turns around and tells him, "Hey, look, I'm Captain Obvious. This is Sparta. Goodbye." And mess with the wrong people, you get burnt, to say the least. Coffee, guys and ladies. Nescafe, instant, the Greek stuff, too bitter. Sometimes bitter is good, but not all the time. So getting back to the crux of the matter, the reason why I'm doing this really is because I want to design my own scenario. And I'm doing some research, you know what I mean? Finding certain things that are interesting. So last time I mentioned something about a Cunningham, and it turns out a lieutenant, and it turns out actually this fellow was a trooper, and he was just a gunner by the name of Cunningham. How did I find out this? Well, I read the 51st Division's history, or a snippet of it, on the internet, and what I'd like to show you is what I came up with so far, and actually a little side-by-side compare of the Archer and the Panther. So with no further ado, let's get to some stats. I love stats. Well, specs more than stats. So let me turn off my video capture here, and boom, you get the whole picture. So on the left, we have the British Archer. On the right, we have the German Panther. The main armament for the British Archer was 76.2 millimeters with 39 rounds of ammunition, whereas the German Panther typically had, typically, the best they could muster was a 75 millimeter gun. I don't know why they didn't go straight off the bat with an 88, since the 88 proved itself to be so effective in Russia, and perhaps it didn't, with 79 rounds of ammunition. So I gave the advantage there to the British Archer, because that extra 1 millimeter proved itself to be effective. Speed, 32 kilometers an hour with no mechanical issues for the British Archer, whereas, and we're talking about road rate here, 46 kilometers per hour with mech issues um, for the Panther. Now, I'm no stranger to mech issues, because my first car was in fact a German 88 Volkswagen Karat in gold. And I had two breakdowns with it where I'm driving a car and all of a sudden the engine dies. And when the engine dies, you're stuck in the middle of traffic. That's enough to sour your taste about all German cars. Let me tell you, that's an experience nobody likes to incur. So that's why uh, my future cars, since the 88 Karat, were all Honda Civics. Never had an issue with a Honda. Well, that's not true. I did have one issue with the alternator, but that's because they didn't put a Honda alternator. Their previous owner had put a general alternator that was not Honda specific. In terms of armor, again, the German Panther on paper has the advantage, with the thickest armor being 100 millimeters as opposed to 60. Range in terms of mobility, 230 kilometers on roads for the British Archer, and the Panther has an extra 30. Now, another great advantage that the Archer had was a low profile, making it a very hard target to hit, whereas the Panther showed up on your sights as a large target, which was probably easier to scope in, even for a gunner that's was a little bit more challenged than your typical Cunningham, that was an excellent um, gunner and excellent at setting its targets. So, with that said, I also want to show you what the scenario card looks like that I'm designing. Let's see if I take a PowerPoint, put back the video capture, and here's a scenario card that I am trying to um, to design. I'm calling the scenario capture of Balta. Instead of a number, I put the date that I started the scenario, a little bit of the history behind the battle, the board configuration. Um, I'm still debating that. The balance as well is debatable. I'm trying to constrain myself to 6 turns. Uh, Nice and neat scenario card. Very uh, concise. With respect to the victory conditions, I think what I'm going to do is work backwards. Um, it's a bit like recursion in programming. Um, Instead of trying to have the victory conditions um, first, you play test the scenario, and then based on the outcomes, you find a word or a phrase that of the victory conditions that best describes all possible outcomes. And generally speaking, all the players will be happy. And hopefully, that will not deviate too much from the historical outcome, which was, in fact, and as I've said previously, this was the counterattack, the Allied counterattack to the German Battle of the Bulge. By January 25th, 1945, the Germans were pushed back to their starting positions. However, the Allies incurred heavy casualties. And special rules, I'm actually thinking about in invoking battlefield integrity for the German side, um, because that would lower their ELR and make them break and run away. Anywho, with that said, let's go back to our actual scenario. Let's see if we can turn this off. Let's turn this on. There you go. And our little log. And I believe it is the advancing fire for the British. So we'll take our best shot first here. We got a target. Let's focus in on it. Wink. All right, so the Sherman is going to fire um, on the stunned Panther, because this Panther up here is a long shot. The other thing you can do is when you're playing a big scenario, is can have this status screen, so you don't forget about your enemy and you don't forget about your units that are all the way in the back. You got an overall scope of the board. All right, so here, let's do the two-hit math, calculus. It's 10 vehicular target type at that range, +1 buttoned up, +4 for motion, which is two factors added together, +2 for case B, +2 for case C, +1 for the hedge, little h, -1 because it's a large target, and -1 because, -2 for the range. And it's actually case L for one reason or another. So add up the positive factors, it's a total of 6, and the negative are 3, so net +3 to your dice roll, so you need a 7 to hit. hit with a 7. There's no rate. And then I determined that at that range, and it is a hull hit, doesn't make a difference because we're using side armor with a armor factor of 6. So at that rate, you've got a base of 14. But when you look at the penetration table on the bottom of table C 7.31, it actually becomes 15, and then plus 6 for the armor. So 15 minus 6, it's a 9 or less. Okay. Let's roll on the 2 kill. One greater and a hull. Direct fire. So that dude is also immobilized. And we take an immobilization test check. 8 passes. But this dude is now immobilized. Bad things. And we get a knock, more importantly. So every time this guy is hit again, he'll have to pass an immobilization test check or bail out. Let's put an advanced counter there. I'm just going to do one turn. And then I'm probably going to end up playtesting this with a friend. Try to get it balanced and share it with you guys or share it with MMP. We'll see what happens. Label, Charlie. Turns out I did a little informal survey about how many scenarios have you played with where the archer tank appears, and it's came up with 4 or 5. I did a similar survey for the folks that were playing the squad leader game. With the squad leader game, there was actually a half track counter M16 that was in the game where it was not featured in any of the original 12 scenarios. Oh well. The other thing that was really puzzling was even with the 4th edition of the rules, TI was mentioned, TI being temporarily immobilized, was mentioned once in the index, but not once in the rules. Coffee. All right, so let's zoom out and see what the heck is going on here. Do I have any other fire? Oh boy. I think this guy's out of range from anything I could have mustered. Is he? Yeah, radio kid, the radio star. Forget that. Not that time of. Let's go on to route. Okay, this fellow here is just going to route back to the woods. Should have taken off all the moves and all the prep and death fire, and also I need to get out the advanced sequence of play. So I got the advanced sequence of play out on another board. Let's go to advance, and we'll advance some units everywhere we can. Um, hmm. I wonder if the radio dude should have been up there or not. Put him in here. Put them there. Put this guy here. It's amazing how these units formed. All right. Um, so it's German turn 2 now. Actually, well, we forgot close combat. I don't think we got any. I'm actually too lazy to check for um, concealment, but you should always do. These typically may have been able to conceal if this fellow cannot see them or this fellow cannot see them or him. But I won't try because then we're going to go into lost checks. Okay. Rally phase turn 2 axis. Roll for weather. Uh, recombinations. None. Attempt to recover support weapons. None. Deploy none. Repair no. And transfers. Rally broken units. We got one rally there. So he's an 8 -1 leader. Typically it would be 3, 4 for the terrain, 5 or less because of the leadership modifiers. DM comes off but fails to rally. Okay. Roll for shock. Here we need a 1 or 2. It says so right on the counter. 3, he's flipped over. And he is in a bit of a pickle. Okay. He is in a bit of a pickle. How many times are you going to say that, George? Let's move on. Prep. Prep fire. Should we risk it for the biscuit to see if we have line of sight to there, from here to there? Yeah, we're going to risk it for the biscuit. We're going to tie up our covered arc. So let's do that first. And sometimes it takes forever for me to get that counter out, counter tray. Oh, here it comes. All right, good. All right. Unit, infantry, no, gun. And here is the machine gun covered art. Well, I already have it on the board. All right, and that's now let's take a line of sight check. Oh, we do a range of 8. So the squad is at half for 2, 7 for the HMG, 9 will be on the 8 table, 8 flat. Here it comes to hit. No, IFT. 7 and rate, that would be a 1 check. So Taylor first needs an 8 or less. Makes it. Now it's a normal. So I got 3 7s that I need. 1, 2, 3. One guy breaks in the middle. The other dude in the bottom pins. Well, this guy broke. Did not ALR. What's my ALR? 3? 4. Yeah, did not ALR. Okay, so now we got rate, and we'll do a 6 flat. Ooh, that's horrible. That is horrible. This is beginning to look like the battle of the bulge counterattack. Actually, 3 on the 6. We got a K2. K2. So who takes the K? Random selection. 4 randoms. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last guy takes the K. Half squad him. Phone. Put him in the casualty bin. Casualties, even though they don't count for points, they you keep tab of them because they're an indicator of how well you did. So 2 check for Taylor would be 7 or less. He breaks. Unfortunately, 2 check for the good order squad. He breaks. Brokey. Brokey is half squatted. And the last dude, he breaks also. All right, this is a high value target, so 6 flat again. That won't do it, but he still has rate, 6 flat. 7 on the 6. I think 7 on the 6 is a normal. So I need 9, 7, 7, 9, 7, 6, 6. 9, 7, get a battle. 6, eliminated. Yep. And the last one, eliminated. So on this fellow here, we got heat of battle. He was broken. First line. Let's see what happens. So British -1, +1, complete wash, 2d6. 6. 6 is battle hardening. So he's back up. So he is unbroken, battle hardens, and we created a hero as well. A British hero, single man counter. We're going to call him Winston. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now they're going to be able to fire back. A 2 up 2. Ah, forget it. All right, so he prep fired. Now what are we going to do? Let's move up. That's what we're going to do. So we'll do a mechanical reliability. Let's go to movement. Let's do a mechanical reliability here. 2d6. Makes it. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and stop. Does he want to fire there? Not yet. Not yet. And I would have had the advantage, but still. Now, down here, we'll do a mechanical reliability. And here it comes. It's actually starts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to stop and delay out. Okay, we're going to voluntarily lose concealment. Delete. Start. We did the mechanical reliability. Starts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to stop and delay out. Do I want to fire at this point in time? No. Don't ask me why. Do I want to move any other unit up? I want to assault move this fellow to here. These guys, forget it. Here we're going to go 1, 2, 3, assuming nobody can see me. These units are going to stay in the rear as reserve. Okay, let's throw it over to the red circles are just to show where the defensive are. Now here's the shot that everybody's been waiting for, from here to there. All right, so let's take a line of sight check and just again, it's not there. He's there. Good job. Range of 18 hexes. What kind of an ACK do we have there? -1 ACK. So there is one hindrance, 18 hex range. Looking at chart C3, 18 hexes away, vehicular target type is 8. It's an L type, a double L type weapon, becomes a 9, a base 9. The archer is not buttoned up, so base 9, vehicular target type, +1 hindrance, -1 for the ACK, acquire, and +1 or -1 because it's a large target, and +1 for the hedge. So pretty much a 9 to hit, and it's at 76 double L. Let's see, to hit. And I got raked. Nice 4. So with a nice 4 at that range, normal ammunition, 76 double L, there's a 23 to kill, and I got a hull hit, which is going to be an 18. So 23 minus 18. Forgot to add the Cunningham's is a 5 or less. Let's see what we got on the 2 kill. Ah, darn! We got rate. So do we have any special ammunition or what? I think D6 4 and D7 5 mean APDS. With a 76 double L, it's a 25. All right. So let's put special ammo. And does that lower anything? Yeah. Yeah, it does lower our APDS on C3 at that range. You lose your +1 advantage. So now we get 8, net 8 to hit. Okay. We should have a -2 AC. And so base 8 to hit. I'm going to use my leader, -1 leader. And a -2 AC. A -1 for large size. And then we got large target. +1 for the hedge. We got rate. And +1 for the hindrance. So let's see. -1, 2, 3, 4. Net -2. So it's a 10 to hit. Hit, no rate, unfortunately. 2 kill, it's 25 minus 18. So 25 minus 18 is 7. Let's see if we can get this done. 7. Exactly equal to what I needed. And it was a hull hit. It's another immobilization, but I had to do 2 task checks. The first one passed, second one passed again. No, this one it failed. He's abandoning. He is abandoned. It's still a 7. It's only if you're in a tiger where they're elite. So go to the axis OBing, go to half squads, get a little dude out, and they're under hazardous movement. Info, unit, info, yep, infantry, and infantry, there it is. They're under hazardous movement. And then in terms of tanks, that thing is abandoned. They can reoccupy it. And this fellow is done. He'll use his machine guns at 12 down 2 for hazardous movement, and then net -1, 12 -1, 8 on the 12. It's something like a 1 check. Yep. passes my own sand. I think I've forgotten an Axis sand. Uh, Que sera sera. So he used his machine guns, recalling defensive fire. He'd final fire. Now we're gonna try and roll them into oblivion. Show info. He has SD6 as well. Um, so let's do SD6 APDS. All right, so let's do it. To hit something to the effect of 10 vehicular target type plus 2 for motion, minus 2 for point blank, and plus 1 for buttoned up. So, and plus 1 for a large target. So let's just roll it and see what the math is. We're declaring SD6. Oh, that's smoke, this Charger 6. So a regular 75, I don't think it stands any chance. Unless I got a critical hit. Or 75, 14, ain't gonna do anything. Should have fired smoke. Put him in smoke. Holy moly. Intensifier, let's see if we're gonna wreck the gun. Add another 2 to those factors. Good. Intensifier, you can't do intensifier with smoke. Alright, forget that. Final fired. That goes here. SD6. That's smoke. Has to be smoke. Is it smoke in APS? Don't know. Okay, he won't do the same mistake. He'll try and fire smoke there. White phosphorus. Let's see. I think it's a 9 or an 8. Okay, we got white phosphorus right there. Boop. On them. Where's the smoke? There it is. White phosphorus. W2. Congratulations. And you don't get a knack for smoke. Final fire. So now he has a +3. He has a ton of stuff a ton of factors to hit him. Anywho, I think I may have proven the point here uh, of why the archer in this particular battle was a match to be had, regardless of all these factors that point to that tank perhaps being inferior on paper. Once this gunner took advantage of his abilities, meaning he fought at long range. It's a 76 double L gun. He didn't try to engage the Panthers up close. However, what he did was he took advantage of his gun sights, his skill, his training, engaged the Panthers at long range, used all these advantages, including his low profile, Trooper Cunningham, that is, and managed to kaboom these guys. Interesting stuff. I have no idea how long this video is so far, but I think I'm going to end it here uh, and see how I can tool this scenario, this battle, and come up with a valid scenario card, so I can share it with you guys. And with that said, thanks for tuning in again this Saturday. I hope to get you another video with summer coming, and you know how time passes fast. I'm gonna have to probably take a little bit of a pause and do some chores and take care of any good weather that we have this summer. So I'm not saying I'm going away, but expect a bit of a pause as well during the summertime on my behalf, so I can rest and recuperate. But having said that, um, what I want to wish one and all, is a great summer ahead. Um, have a great time with your spare time. Use it wisely. Play to your heart's content. And until I see you next time, be well, everyone. Take care.